Good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday so far. Uh, we're going to be traveling through Sunman, Indiana, which is located in the southeast region of Indiana off of Interstate 74. Well, it's close to Interstate 74. Excuse me. In a minute here, we'll be in town. Alright, folks, we're in town, so I'm going to continue to talk. Sunman, Indiana is located 42 miles northwest of Cincinnati. Cincinnati, of course, is going to be your closest metro city / area to this small town. And as far as somewhere to go for many of your basic amenities, you're 10 minutes southeast of Batesville, Indiana. I just released my Batesville video on this channel yesterday, so feel free to watch that video. So anyhow, the population here in Sunman is 914 people. As of the 2020 census, the population, Sunman has experienced a 12.9% population lost. The population used to be 1,049 people back during the 2010 census. And back during 2010, the population actually increased by 30.3%. Now, of course, you gotta bear in mind that the town is not that big in the first place, so a few people here and there can make a substantial difference when it comes to the census. Now, I will say, ever since they began to record the census here, which was back in 1900, I forgot to write down what the population in 1900 was, so my apologies. But ever since they began to record the population here back in 1900, this town has only experienced a population decline 5 times. So that's 5 times in the last 130 years or so, which is not bad. And if I were to be a betting man, I would say by the 2030 census, the population here could very easily go from being negative to back to being positive. And I say that because, again, as I've been saying a lot recently on this channel, there's a lot of, and this is one of the reasons why I started this channel. I mean, there's a lot of people that prefer to live in smaller towns like this, as opposed to living in the city or the suburbs. And although a lot of people would not want to live in a small town because typically it means you're going to have to drive further to gain access to basic amenities, there's other people that, like myself, that, yeah, sometimes a drive could get a little tedious, especially if you're living in a state like Indiana where during the winter time it snows, even if it only snows a little bit. If you're having to drive an hour from your job and it's nighttime and it's snow out and it gets to snowing and the temperatures are right around, let's say, the low 30s, where typically you run into your black ice and the roads could be a complete mess, Then you got truck drivers wanting to drive like there's no snow on the ground. And then when you drive up the road, now you got an accident. You got, it's just a complete mess sometimes because people drive like complete idiots during this time of the year sometimes. Oh, and I'm sorry for the sun. So just bear with me. But anyways, so, there's definitely inconveniences of living in smaller towns, obviously. For me, the biggest inconvenience is the fact that I have to drive farther to get to work and farther to get to basic amenities such as grocery shopping and auto mechanics and things of that nature. But there's more people out here, I feel, that are willing to deal with all that as opposed to paying more money to live in a city and then having to deal with some of the downers of living in a city, such as traffic, crime, and higher housing prices and stuff like that. So anyhow, Sunman was named. The name Sunman. I mean, this town was named after John Sunman, who was a postmaster at the time. And Sunman became a town in 1856, but this general area was founded somewhere, I want to say, in the 1830s. And as far as it goes for the racial demographics, it's 75.6% white and 24.4% Hispanic. Now, if you're looking to, and I think just to kind of help back up what I just said about people wanting to move here. Now, if you're looking to rent here, your rent prices are going to go from $650 to $13.90 a month. That's your median rent prices, which in my opinion, that's not too bad. When you compare those rates to many other parts of the country. Now, when you look at your housing prices here, I mean, taking into consideration that this is a small town and you're over 40 miles away from the Cincinnati metro area. I mean, the average price of a home is sitting at $287,000. And if you're wanting to buy a house right now, you're not going to find anything for much lower than $240,000. Now, here in town, all the houses that are currently showing for sale, according to Realtor.com, have all been, they're all pending a contract. Now, I guess if you want to see for yourself or rather houses here are for sale, your best bet would be to call a local real estate agent, someone who has access to the MLS. I'm not an agent, so I therefore have no access to the actual MLS. FYI. And but yeah, I think honestly, I don't have anything negative to say about this town. I mean, it seems like a nice, quaint, small town to reside in. I mean, it's close enough to larger communities, but it's far enough away from Cincinnati to where whatever riff might come out of certain parts of Cincinnati, I would say if you live this far out from Cincinnati, you don't really have anything to worry about. I mean, fortunately, it's a nice sunny day, so you guys, at least it's not all cloudy and gray like many of my videos have been. Now we're going to go to niche and we're going to see how other people feel about this city, about this town. Okay, there's out of 7 reviews, Sunman has a 4 out of 5 star rating. Nobody rated this city poor or terrible. I mean, basically the ratings are even for the most part. 3 rated the city average. 2 rated the city very good, and 2 excellent. So we're going to start with the 5-star, and then we're going to work ourselves down to the 3-star. Okay, this first one is from July of 2020. It's a 5-star. This is what they said. It is a low-key place with amazing futures. I get to have so much land to myself and do whatever I want with it. You know what? I love that for this individual. I love that. And I'm assuming that they're still living there. But you know what? That's one thing I personally like about small town living. You know, if you got the right amount of money, you can buy yourself a home, have a generous amount of land. Your neighbors aren't on top of you. You got more, like during the summertime, or you want to step outside and get a little bit of fresh air. Talk to your friends on the phone like I like to do during the warmer months. You can do all that, and you don't have to worry about your next door neighbors eavesdropping. And plus, you're not going to hear what they got to talk about. So yeah, I love that about small town living. Okay, this next one is also a 5-star, and this is from October of 2016. Sunman is a great small town. Corn and soybean fields are abundant. No matter which direction we head, when leaving home, it's a 25 minute. It is 25 minutes until you see traffic light. Town is small enough that the bank teller and pharmacy knows your name. Super friendly people everywhere you turn. Awesome place to raise a family. And again, not every small town is going to be friendly like that. Some small towns, as I've told you before, the people there, unless they know you, they're going to be a bunch of assholes. So if the people here are friendly, you know, stereotypical small town mentality in a good way, of course. You know what? Again, I love that. That's excellent. That's a blessing. Okay, now we're gonna go to 4 stars. Okay, this is a 4-star from October of 2018. Sunman is a small community that makes you feel at home. Everybody knows everybody. Our little festivals are my favorite because everyone from the community comes and catches up on life. The local businesses are well known, and everyone is very friendly. Wouldn't trade growing up in this small town for the world. Okay, again, I love it. You know, reading comments like that, and while I'm watching this video, it makes me happy. You know, hopefully it makes y'all happy too. Okay, this next one is from June of 2018. It's another 4-star. Very nice and quiet with country living. The town has a very small population, and also and almost everyone knows each other. Small town with little potential to grow your career. One grocery store is present and $2 stores. We have 3 gas stations that are very competitive. The community consists of 4 groups and different beliefs. The community consists of 4 congregation groups with different beliefs. Okay, now as far as the limited opportunity here, I mean, obviously it's a small town, so that's to be expected. But again, you know, you're only 10 miles from Batesville, which is a lot bigger, and you're only 42 miles away from Cincinnati. So, you know, you're not far from larger communities. And that's one good thing about living in towns like this. I mean, it's a small town, it's quiet, and you know, some of these houses do come with a generous amount of land, but at the same time, you're not going to be living in no man's land to where you're going to be an hour to where you're going to be like 2 hours from the largest city. So it is what it is, I guess. All right, let's go down to average. Here's a 3-star, and this one is recent, from 8 days ago. So this person decided to put their 2 cents on niche. A couple of days, no, it looks like they put it a day before I went out and recorded the video. All right. Living in Sunman is the definition of small town, he said small down living, but he meant to say small town living. It is wonderful having so many people all around who have known you since you were knee-high to a grasshopper. It is a great place to raise family in a quiet, beautiful, and welcoming town. However, Sunman is simply stuck because it is fairly low-income town there is not a whole lot to do. New businesses seem more like pop-ups at this point, the way they struggle to stay open. Many buildings need to be refurbished or torn down. We need more community involvement. We used to have such fun summer festivals and everyone in the family enjoyed, but now there are no events to gather everyone and create community. We need more people to step up and put some effort into making this a community again. Okay, so the other person a little bit ago said that they did have festivals here, but I guess over the years they don't do all that no more. That's sad. Too bad. Now, as far as opportunities, like I said before, given that you're only 10 miles outside Batesville and you're less than an hour from Cincinnati, and let's not forget about some of the Cincinnati suburbs that might be a little closer than even Cincinnati itself. I mean, you're not far from larger communities here. And FYI, I'm gonna give some of you younger folks at least a little bit of game right here. Now, when you're looking to purchase a home in a small town and you're looking for a half decent deal on a house, I mean, sometimes if you buy in a smaller community that's kind of ran down, but at the same time still safe to reside in, and people for the most part are nice. Sometimes in some of your ran down communities, you can actually purchase your home for a lower price. Sometimes in some of your ran down towns, you can get more bang for the buck because a town in itself doesn't have a whole lot of things going for itself, and people looking to buy a home, the norm is many people are going to look for somewhere. They're going to look somewhere that, it's got some kind of potential in their eyes. When a lot of people look at buying a house, people are going to be looking at communities the way that the mainstream society has told people to look at communities, like schools, like good schools, growing community, stuff like that. Now, I would say if you're an investor, you're going to want a community that's growing and is close to the city and has a little bit of money. But if you're looking to purchase something just for yourself and for your family, maybe you're looking for a home that's got a larger size lot because you got a green thumb, you want to do a little bit of planting, or you're looking to possibly homestead. If you're one of those kind of people and you don't mind being a little farther from the city, I mean, sometimes in order to get the best deal, you're gonna have to shop around for a home, and some of the characteristics that you normally would look for when buying a home, you might have to bypass, such as, like I said a second ago, if you buy a home in a small town that's a little ran down, but it's still safe to live and people are still decent, that's going to be your best bet in terms of buying a house, in my opinion. So just a little bit of game for those of you that are looking to buy something in a small community and you're looking to homestead, but you don't want to have to empty out your savings or overpay or whatever. Okay, all right. Let me keep reading here. Okay, here's another 3-star, November of 2018. A lot of apartments need to be cleaned up. Also, I wish there were some different shops in the area. And here's the last one, which is a 3-star from 2017, May of 2017. I like that Sunman is a small town where everyone can know everyone. But some people do not want to know others and keep to themselves. There are still a good side of the town and a bad side, which is like almost every town I know. The one bad thing about Sunman is that it is 30 to 45 minutes drive to just about anywhere you go. Alright folks, the video is going to end in about a couple of minutes, so I just wanted to hurry up and read everything so you guys knew what, just so you guys got some views of what other people think about this community. Like I said, I still think this could be a very good place for many of you to reside, for those of you that are looking for small town living. And remember what I said a second ago about some of your small towns that might be a bit ran down. Remember what I said. Alright folks, that's going to be all for the commentary. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. And if you want to help me out, all you gotta do is give videos like this a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing that as well, because I will be putting out many more videos. And on that note, stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.